All right, small class, student's choice. What should we work on? Okay, I will decide. My mat is not even with the camera. It's bothering me. Okay, let's sit up nice and tall. I, for one, have gratitude that we didn't have to get out and go meet somewhere in this weather this morning. So just finding something that you are grateful for to start our time together. Start with 3 cleansing breaths. So the way that works is we're going to inhale and then exhale loudly and forcefully with our mouth open. Okay, normally I like to just go through the nose, but this morning as we begin, we'll go through the mouth. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let it go. Now let's try to focus on exhaling through the nose with the mouth closed as best we can. So yesterday with our little holiday, I tried to get work done and then I got on my mat just to do some practice. And I was a little bit farther behind and I lifted my leg up in down dog and hit the picture that normally is there and crash, glass everywhere. So that ended my session early. It's kind of a shame. Thankful I didn't step on glass. But things happen. All right, chin comes down. Let's see what you feel. Try to notice what is happening as you flex from your neck and your chin comes down. What's happening to your shoulders? Remember how important your gaze is. So don't let your upper body round. So you want to really focus on being tall with the torso, heart lifted, shoulders back and down, and yet your chin is down. And bring it up through neutral, cautiously up. And now we'll just nod. You go at your own pace. So let's go through the full range of motion, but just always using extra caution. Notice if it's kind of crunchy. And if there's any pain, you need to just stay away from that. We want to work within the realm of no pain. You can have a little bit of discomfort with the stretch, but that's all. All right, come in here to center. Now let's take our shoulder down and our ear towards that shoulder. Noticing what's happening here. And Tuesday when we did this, we took the shoulder, the hand behind. So you're welcome to do that again. Through center. Exhale to the side. Remembering that you're focusing on your breath and bring it up through neutral. Now to the side. Back through center to the other side. And back to center. All right, let's take our hands out to the side. Lift up tall. Inhale. Exhale down. Remember, in and out through your nose if you can. Inhale up. Exhale. One more time. Inhale up. This time, clasp your hands. Exhale down. And now finding your hands at the base of your skull. So I'm pressing gently with my hands, and my head goes back into my hands. So this is an isometric contraction. So I'm pulling forward gently with my hands, and I'm pressing back gently with my head. So there's resistance. And while we're doing this, we're just going to have a little bit of movement. I'm going to rock gently side to side. Still breathing. So isometric contraction is a way of developing strength. All right, and bring it back up. Let's turn the palms up and then reach to the sky. Exhale, reaching the hands out away from the heart center. Stretch, 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 stretch. Good. Inhale up, rotate. Let's go to the opposite way that you normally start. Just to change it up. Remember, head up to the sky, heart stays lifted. You're not leaning on that back hand. Turn your head one time over the opposite shoulder and then back. Good. And release at center. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale, rotate. Shoulders down. So thinking about your body, thinking how it feels. Thinking about your breath. Paying attention, turning your head back. And the other direction. And release it. Good. Okay, so let's move into our butterfly, but we're going to move our feet out about maybe 18 inches, give or take. And if this is bothersome on your ankles, you should have your handy dandy blanket or towel you could put underneath. It's always good to have two. And so we're going to lift up tall and now come forward. So I'm going to keep my heart lifted to the sky on the diagonal as I come forward. Now, I feel this mostly in my back. And listen, it doesn't matter how far forward you get. Even if you're right here, and some of you will be a lot farther than me, that's okay. When I ask my students where they feel it, most of them feel this in their hips. I, however, feel it in my hips, definitely, but mostly in my back. And that's just me and my experience and history with my body. So just wherever you feel it, it's okay. So let's release. Take your hands back behind you, fingertips touching, lift up tall, heart lifts, draw your shoulder blades back and just gaze up. opening the heart. So you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. And we'll release. Come back to nice and tall, erect. Inhale. Exhale forward. So we're trying to keep that neutral spine and not rounding. So crown of the head lifts, heart lifts, everything extending away from your hips. Another thing that many of us do in this posture is grab the toes and pull up. If you've torn ligaments or sprained the ankle a bunch of times, that's really not good. So there's no reason to do that. I would encourage you not to. You can hold on to your ankles and gently pull down. You can just not pull at all. But just play with doing anything besides pulling up on those toes. All right, let's come up one more time. Hands come back. So I just have my fingertips touching and I'm upright, head over hips. Now I'm going to lift up tall, draw the shoulder blades down and back. So I'm lifting my heart and gazing up. So I'm not letting my head go back as far as it can go. I just want to keep it in neutral, in that natural posture, but gazing up to open the thoracic vertebrae that supports my ribs. Deep, complete breath. And release it back to center. Hands, I like to put my hands on my ankles. We're going to go one more time. Forward, lift up tall. Come forward. Now allow your head to come heavy and round down, rounding the back. And we're not going to stay here too long with that. I'd just like you to notice the difference. It's not wrong to round the back. However, that's what we do. We're going to go to all fours. That's what we do every single day with our habitual work posture. So we try to counteract that when we're moving intentionally. So now we come to neutral, and now we will round our back because we're completely supported. We had more load on our back because our hands weren't supporting us. So we articulate the spine with an inhalation or exhalation here. And now we articulate the spine with support by rounding because it's much safer because of the support of our hands and legs. We are not load bearing on the spine as we are when we're standing or sitting. So moving through flexion and extension on your own with your breath. Let's go one more time. All right. So facing you is my left hip. I'm going to contract this muscle that runs along the side of my spine towards my hip. And now I'm going to lift the hip up. Call them hip hikers. So lift it up. And now my left shoulder goes towards my hip and I'm going to turn and rotate. Come back through center. Hip hiker on the right. Shoulder goes towards it. And then back to center. Just continue on your own. If that terminology was confusing, you're just making a C shape with your spine. It's called lateral flexion. Inhaling through center, exhaling. Flow with your breath. We like to move our spine in different directions. All right, one more time each side. All right, and let's just shift back. You can keep your knees where they are. And remember, if you need to put a rolled up towel behind your knees, and we're going to take our hands, palms up behind us and just let our forehead hit here. Unless you want to put your fist here or a block or a rolled up towel. So just release. And if this is not comfortable for your knees, I encourage you to have two little hand towels rolled up, and you can place them right behind the knee. One of the positives is that we're not in a class where we can see what the other is doing, right? So we're not self-conscious about what we look like. We're just feeling our body. In fact, I like you to close your eyes as much as possible. So if we were in a class doing the cat and cow, you might think, oh, I don't think I'm doing it exactly like that person is. But remember, we don't know what's going on the inside, and we're all different with different experiences. Some people have fusions, some people have scoliosis, some people have, lots of things that will impede them, and some are hyperflexible, which isn't necessarily a good thing. All right, so let's come up. We're going to go into our thread the needle. So find your box. If your knees were together, bring them back apart. Now, I'm going to take my left arm up, open. So I'm conscious of how I'm pushing with my right hand and reaching with my left, and I'm contracting. I'm really working hard at this moment to open up and twist more. Now I'm going to come under, reach, and then come right back up. We'll do this 3 times. That was 1, and now 2. Reach up one more time, and 3. All right, so connect to the ground. You may stay passively here, just hanging out. Or you can resist into your stretch. And bringing it back up to center. Same thing, other side. Let's go ahead and do an extension. So this is our cow. Just to kind of reset. And flexion, cat. Back to neutral. Second hand, sweep it up. Pushing with the left hand, reaching with the right. Feel the strength in your back. The opening in the front. Exhale, reach, go as far as you can. Come back up, inhale. Exhale. And we'll do it one more time. And now, connect with the floor. So, as I've said in the past, you can hang out here passively and get a wonderful stretch. But if you choose, you can press with the back of your arm and press with your hand into the rotation to deepen it and try to look towards the sky. Completely your choice. Don't hold your breath. And we'll come back up. Let's walk it out. So I'm from my knees and my hands. I'm in neutral, so I'm trying not to let my belly drop. And we're going to go down. We'll do 3 push-ups. So go down slowly. And push up slowly, belly in first, trying to come up as a unit. These are hard, especially when you go slow. Exhale down. Inhale up. Inhale now, exhale down. One more time. Good. Okay, let's roll it over onto our hips. Okay, I'd like you to lay back and pull both knees in to stretch your low back. Just forgot to take my picture. Everybody smile. Ha. So when you pull your knees into your chest, and especially when you bring your head up, that stretches your low back. All right. Good. So let's put the feet down and do our pelvic tilts. So this is a small movement, but big results. So I'm in neutral, and right now, my body, I can get my fingertips to touch. You may or may not, depending on your body type. What we're going to do is press the lower back down. And notice, and if you will, just put your hands here on your glutes. Notice if you're doing this by contracting the glutes. In fact, let's all contract the glutes. You can feel and then release. So now I want you to try to do the pelvic tilt simply with your back muscles and your abdominals. So down and keep them relaxed. And if you need to feel, you can. So we just want to isolate and work through the low back. So this is, even though it doesn't feel like we're doing much, it's very therapeutic for your back. And it's not wrong to contract your glutes. It's just, it's nice to try to isolate the back and work that muscle. Good. Okay, keep the lower back down. And now I'm going to put my hands down by my hips, palms down, pressing through my shoulders and upper arms, pressing through my feet, and we're going to lift the hips. Lift the hips up. And exhale down. Knees come in, stretching what we were just working. Bring it back down, feet down. Pressing, preparing for another bridge. Go nice and slow. Press. Please don't turn your head when you have weight on your upper arms and shoulders and upper back. It's just a little too close to that cervical vertebrae. Breathing. Please don't do this if you have any pain in your back. Most physical therapists and osteopaths are going to prescribe this to strengthen your back. But yet, if you have pain, I would advise you to just keep with the pelvic tilts. Knees come in, head comes up. Take it back. We'll go one more time. So move with awareness of your body. So now we press with the feet, the arms, the shoulders, lower back, and now open up through the hips. Try to notice just by feeling your body if you're contracting your glutes or not. So different teachers will cue you to use your glutes. We're trying to focus on the back more today rather than letting the glutes take over. And I'm assuming you know that means the butt muscles. And release. Knees come up. Head comes up to stretch that low back. Release the head down. And now just let the knees come side to side. Depending on your body type, this may not feel good for you or it may feel wonderful. So if it does not feel good, I'm going to ask you just to stay still and with your breath, exhale up, inhale back, and just hold like that, stretching your low back. For those of you that this feels good, I'm going to ask you to take your knees a little farther away from your torso and maybe trace the size of what's in season now? A baseball? Or maybe an oblong baseball, so that you're tracing that with your knees over your hips. And this will massage your low back. No pain, guys, no pain. Reverse direction. And if this is not comfortable for you, you're doing the back stretch. All right, let's all meet together. Head comes up. And now, total body stretch. Reach, 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 reach. Exhale, one knee comes in. Second knee comes in and extends the leg. If you have your strap, you're welcome to get it and hold it here. I forgot to remind you, so it's not that important. So we're going to point and flex, rotate the ankle. And now I'm going to bring this knee in, and I'm going to extend this other leg now, but you can keep it bent. And I'm just going to rotate through that joint. So I'm tracing a small beach ball size with my knee, just to go through the range of motion with that hip joint. Sacroiliac joint. Okay, so now go the other direction. All right, bring it up and let's take it out to if it's your left leg, go to the left. Probably can't get very far. Now we'll take it up through center. Right hand, if it's your left leg, will bring it over to the side for a supine twist. Now, my foot can find my right leg and just hang out there. And I can keep my hand on that thigh, or I can come out in a T. Whatever you choose. Breathe. It's fine if this shoulder comes off the ground, the left shoulder. Deep, complete breath. And release it. And now keeping the left leg bent, we'll take the right leg up. So oftentimes when we do this flexion at the hip, it's going to feel good on our low back. And that's why we have this other knee bent. You can extend your leg, but you're going to feel a little more comfortable if it's bent. Point and flex. And rotate. Knee comes in and we'll take it to the side. Extend that left leg. And draw it over with your left hand to the right side or left side. Deep, complete breath. It's 7:14. I should have probably ended a few minutes early because of the weather today. Wasn't thinking. Deep, complete breath. Stay here another minute if you can. We don't want to be lopsided. And so I bid you farewell and stay warm today. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.